All right. Hey, what's everyone? Happy Friday. We are live now on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and on X. Welcome, everyone. I missed last week. I was not feeling too well. So I have a makeup episode coming up on Monday with John Cayozo. So be sure to check that out. If you guys want to go to SEO IRL, SEO IRL by Steve Toth in Canada, I have a 15% off coupon with video. Use video for SEOIRL.com. Use 15% off code video. I will personally be at the Hrefs Evolve conference out in San Diego. I'll be recording a lot of content out there, so be sure to say hi when you see me. I'll be rocking the blue shirt, and yeah. But if you are on the East Coast, and if you can't make it out to the West Coast, check out Steve Toth's conference at SEOIRL.com, and you can get a discount using the code video. So check that out. Today we are talking to Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries, and we will be talking about upscaling SEOs in the age of AI. She gave a presentation at Brighton SEO San Diego, which I'll be going back to next week, back to San Diego for Hrefs conference. But she gave a great presentation. I want to go a deep dive on it, ask some questions for those that was not able to attend. How you can upscale yourself. Again, if you're just tuning in, I will be at Hrefs Evolve conference next week, filming, doing a recap video, talking to vendors, talking to SEOs. Hopefully I can get you on camera. And for those that are on the East Coast, near Canada, want to check out Steve Toth's SEO in real life, SEOIRL.com. Use code video for 15% off. See a few of you out there. Don't be shy. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. I know it's been a while. Also, if you don't forget, if you want to learn AEO, check out aeo.so, aeo.so. It's a free resource with a ton of tactics to get you ranking in LLMs. Victor, happy Friday. Ernesto, yo, yo, yo. Again, if you're just tuning in, we have Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries, and we'll be talking about upskilling SEOs in the age of AI. And if you are interested in attending a conference in the East Coast, up in Canada, check out Steve Toth's conference, SEO IRL, 15% off with the code video. I will personally be here on the West Coast at Hrefs conference down in San Diego, doing some event coverage for you guys, talking to some SEOs and some vendors and see what's out there. So as we wait for Natasha, why don't you guys talk to me in the live chat? I know it's been a while. Oh yeah, and if you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, or X, come over to YouTube, because I can't see your comments. Actually, let me take a look if I can see it. Yeah, I'm logged into Restream where I'm actually resyndicating everything, so I don't see anything coming in. Congrats on your new boba shop. Thank you, Fletcher. If you are a Facebook friend of mine or Instagram friend of mine, you know that I opened up a boba shop. Become my friend so you can come check it out. Stefan, my man, where are you at? We got about 7 more minutes to go. If you're just tuning in, we will be talking about upskilling SEOs in the age of AI with Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries. This was a talk she gave at Brighton SEO San Diego, and I want to go dive deep into it and share what she shared on, for those that did not attend Brighton SEO San Diego. Oh, I see Natasha on right now. For some reason, I didn't see you on. That was weird. Hold on, let me bring you on. And you're on mute too. Hold on, so I didn't hear you. Sorry about that. Hold on. Let me bring you on. Where is this? All right, Natasha, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. How long were you waiting? My bad. I'm sorry. For some reason, I didn't see you on my production here over here.
Oh, good. I was making sure my audio was good too.
Okay. Love it. If you're just tuning in, we will be talking about upskilling SEOs in the age of AI with Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries. This was a talk that she gave at Brighton SEO San Diego, and we just want to touch upon it, talk a little about it for those that was not able to attend. Again, if you guys want to go to another conference, Steve Toth is holding a conference, SEO IRL, in Canada. It's on the East Coast side. If you want to get tickets off on that, it's 15% off with the code video. I will personally be at Hrefs Evolve here on the West Coast. I'll be filming again, doing some conference recap stuff. And so, Natasha, are you going to any more conferences? Are you going to Steve Toth's or Hrefs?
No, it's my first time missing SEO IRL since I started doing it, and it's an hour train ride away. But I have used up my conference budget for the year. It's also Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. We have an offsite this month, so it's like I got to work at some point.
There you go. Love it. So, how is SEO IRL? I haven't not been there yet. So, I mean, you said you've been going there all the time.
It's a great event.
Nice.
It's a great event, really great speakers, and I think there's a really, really fantastic community behind it too. Mm-hmm. Like the events kind of started just as evening meetups. There were a few of them, and then Steve launched the 1-day event last year. Now it's 2 days. So
wow.
Yeah, it's learning, but it's also just like catching up with friends, which is super nice. So I'm sad to miss the event this year, although I'm still going to a meetup just so I can see people anyways.
There you go. Love it. You heard it first from Natasha, someone who's attended SEO IRL. So if you want to check it out this year, you can use the code video for 15% off if you're in the area. I know it may be too late to maybe fly out there, especially if it's Thanksgiving in Canada. It may be really expensive to fly out there on this time.
I don't know. I feel like we don't travel as much in Canada for Canadian Thanksgiving, but
okay.
Who knows?
There you go. Kenneth says, hi, Dre and Natasha. Hello, Kenneth. Yeah, we got about 4 more minutes to go. If you guys are in the live chat, say hi and let me know where you guys are watching from. We'll be talking about upskilling SEOs in the age of AI. We have Kobe. Great topic today. Hey, yep. Love it. I see a few of you out there. Don't be shy. Say hi in the live chat. And are you from Ontario or Toronto? Ontario. Yeah.
I mean, if you were in San Diego, I'd tell you I was from Toronto. I actually live in a city about an hour outside of Toronto called Hamilton, but it's just easier to say Toronto.
Oh, okay. Got it. So, wait, Ontario. Wait, no. So you're in Toronto. But what is Ontario city? Or is that
Ontario's the province.
Oh, so it's Toronto. And then what's Toronto? That's a city.
The city, yeah.
Oh, so Toronto is Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Yep, you got it.
Oh, okay. I was getting confused. I thought Toronto and Ontario were both cities. So, okay, now I get it. Love it. Lucy says, hello, Natasha. All right, guys, we have 3 more minutes to go. If you're just tuning in, we have Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries, and we'll be talking about upskilling SEOs in the age of AI. Natasha is in the live chat. Hello, everyone. All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, we got about 2.5 more minutes to go. We will be talking about upskilling SEOs in the age of AI. It was a presentation given by Natasha at Burtenshaw SEO San Diego this past week, a couple weeks ago. So, hello from San Francisco, Natasha fam. Hello. All right. So, were you able to check out the my little agenda, the updated calendar invite? Okay, cool. Everything good there?
I was just pulling up my notes. Apparently, I somehow accidentally deleted them, but I have recovered it. So.
Okay, good.
That would have been not great.
All right, let's see here. So, are you guys doing? I guess anyone going to your family going to your place for Thanksgiving, or are you going to another place?
Not this year. I'm gonna go to my dad's on Sunday, my mom's on Monday. So, I mean, Canadian Thanksgiving is pretty similar to American. We do the turkey and everything. We're not so much into like the football. I feel like it's a little bit more low key, but for the most part, it's the same.
You guys got Canadian football too. I mean, they're pretty.
We do.
Pretty popular, isn't it? It's pretty popular, or not?
It depends on where you go.
Oh. All right. We got 1 more minute to go. So, Natasha, I'm going to put you on mute real quick. I'm going to do my quick introduction, and then I'll bring you right in. All right. All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, we have Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries here, and we'll be talking about upskilling SEOs in the age of AI. Again, if you want to check out SEO in IRL, SEO in real life by Steve Toth, check it out. Go to SEOIRL.com and use code VIDEO for 15% off. Trace Canada, what's up? CFL is key during Thanksgiving. All right. Trans Canada. All right, guys. Less than 30 seconds to go. I'm gonna get things ready here, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Hey, time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Vera, steady dropping knowledge, over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guests, and today we have Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Trans Canada, Natalie, Natasha, Stefan, my man, Lucy, Kobe, Kenneth, Fletcher, Ernesto, Victor. Welcome everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why did the SEO cross the road? They wanted to get hit by traffic.
All right, so I checked out Google Search Console. Nothing really was posted. I saw that they're also having an AI mini conference at the Mountain View headquarters. So be sure to check that out if you want to check it out. So let's get on with the show. Before we introduce our guests, here's a word from our sponsor. Your traffic is vanishing and AI search is the reason why. Hi, I'm Vera, a 20-year SEO pro, and this is how I beat AI in its own game. Answer engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity are all replacing Google results. And your organic traffic is disappearing. No links, no attribution, just lost visibility. Right at the moment, people are deciding what to buy. These answers shape the buyer's journey, but you get zero traffic and zero credit. So how do you stay visible even when search engines stop sending traffic? I use Profound, the only tool built to help brands in AI search. I used to spend hours optimizing for rankings. Now I optimize for answers, and Profound tells me precisely what AI is talking about my brand. Profound gives you answer engine insights. See where and how AI mentions your brand. Agent analytics. Track how often AI crawlers visit and use your content. Conversation Explorer. Discover what real users ask AI before they buy. And shopping visibility. Boost product presence in ChatGPT shopping. If you're not showing up in AI answers, you're out of the conversation. Start now before your brand disappears from the buyer's journey. Be sure to click the link below and tryprofound.com to take back your brand's visibility.
Natasha is a digital marketing instructor at George Brown College. She's an SEO professional with over 7 years of experience. When she's not doing strategies, she's out playing on the soccer field. Today, she's here to share how SEOs can upskill for success in the age of AI. Please welcome the Director of Organic Growth at Flywheel Digital, Natasha Burtenshaw-deVries.
Natasha, what's up? Welcome to the show.
That is definitely the greatest introduction I've ever gotten. Oh man.
Not even better than my one that Brighton I did for you.
I mean, that was good, but you just raised the bar again.
There we go. Love it. Thank you. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right, Natasha, I'm going to get right into it. This is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. In 1 minute or less, how does Natasha get ranking on page 1 of Google?
I mean, it sounds so simple, but just create the best quality content. That's it. Offer value to people, actually answer the question. Don't just say what you think Google wants. You can always look at the top results, see what other people are doing. That gives a lot of insight about what Google thinks is a good answer. But just do your research, provide a good answer. And I have seen so many, low authority websites outrank really high ones because it's not backlinks matter, DR matters, but quality is really what gets you at the top. And again, just, show why you should be trusted on that too.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. Hold on. Let me rewind this quick. Take us way back to 7 years ago. How did you first get into SEO?
I mean, like most people, accidentally. Certainly no one grows up saying they want to be an SEO person, but I guess the full journey, as a kid, I used to just play around with websites and stuff. I was one of those cool kids, taught yourself HTML and everything. And just over time, so just playing around with websites a bit, some of them had this thing, Yoast SEO, where it kept talking about these keywords. So kind of got a little bit of exposure to it there. And then when I was in university, I did, again, just playing around, some personal blogging, also volunteering for some different causes. Sorry, sometimes the light in this meeting room likes to, there we go, shut off. So I'm going to have to move to turn it on sometimes. I've been here for like 4 years and I've never figured out how to fix that. But yeah, I kind of discovered just like social media, blogging, website stuff. And eventually my initial career path wasn't really going where I wanted it to. So I decided to go back to school to do a postgrad in digital media marketing. I was one of the rare people who actually took a course in SEO there. So I give a lot of credit to that instructor for introducing me to it. But ultimately I did a summer co-op working for a small home healthcare agency. And they had just, launched their website, gotten a Facebook page. So it's like, let's hire the student to do it all for us. And I think they had initially envisioned it to be a bit more social media focused, but in the home healthcare space, especially when you're just a small independent provider, you're not like, nurse next door that can put the money into the TV ads and out of home stuff and everything. It's not really about, building awareness and an audience. You just need to be in Google when someone's mom fell and broke her hip and they need help tomorrow because, the adult kid has to go back to work. So that was kind of my deep dive into it. And then finished off my final term at school, actually found an SEO focused position to get started with, and the rest is history.
So why SEO? What made you interested in SEO instead of like, you were talking about you doing some social media and some other things? Like why specifically your path led to SEO?
I mean, honestly, I think part of it was circumstantial. A lot of my schoolmates were looking for jobs in social media or like generalist roles, and there was a lot more competition there. So this was partially just happened to be the role I found, but I also love how, unless you're in a really specialized role, you're naturally wearing a lot of hats in SEO. I like working on websites, but it's like, once you get really deep into code, not really my thing, don't want to be a developer. I love writing, don't want to do that full time. I love strategy, but don't want to get out of the execution work. So it's kind of a natural way to just dabble in all the things I like without going all in on one. Got it.
Love that. So when it comes to organic growth, and you're director of organic growth at Flywheel Digital. So like, are you managing more than just SEO then? Or do you have a team under you? Like how's your structure look like that you have?
Yeah, so I've been head of one of our groups within our organic team. So I have 3 leads that report directly to me, and then we have another director with a team of 3 as well. So they kind of head up some of our more holistic and like CRO focused work. I head up more of our SEO and content specific accounts, but kind of within our whole organic service, we do SEO content, some email work more focused on the acquisition side, not like life cycle marketing, as well as CRO and analytics. And that was, we always took a more holistic approach to SEO, but that was also a deliberate choice in the last few years, given everything that's happened in SEO, kind of one, strengthen our own service by doing more, but also kind of practice what we preach to our clients about saying you should diversify beyond Google. So now we can help them do it too.
Love that. Love that. So you mentioned that you actually like learned from a professor when you actually learned SEO from a professor. Was there any other resources that you like were like online? Were you in any forums? Were you reading any blogs? Anyway, that you actually particularly followed?
I would say in the early days, I think I would credit Moz and Search Engine Journal as my main sources, both in my own learning time, but also even within the course. Like we didn't have a textbook or anything. I think half of our materials that we learned from was like Whiteboard Friday. That was my SEO education.
Got it. Love that. Okay, now on to our topic of today. So you spoke about a great topic at Brighton SEO San Diego, and I want to kind of share that information with those people that wasn't able to attend by asking a few questions about the presentation that you gave. So like for those, like let's set the stage. I mean, what do you see as the biggest shift in AI has brought to the SEO industry in the past like year or so?
There's so many different ways you can answer this question. It was probably the hardest one on the list you gave me, but I think what it really all comes down to at the end of the day is just having to think differently about our users. Because one, especially with things like AI overviews, even just algorithm changes more focused on quality and stuff, what Google's ranking has changed now. So we have to adapt our work to that, but also with things like people starting to use LLMs for search, AI mode as well is a big change. I know that only came out in Canada at the end of August, so we've had a little bit less time to play there and kind of have the impacts of that rollout. It's really just, how do we reach our users given how the platforms are changing what they show and how users are actually using them differently too. And I think, again, like it sounds so obvious to think about your users. It sounds so cliche, but let's be real. A lot of people weren't doing that before. They were just too focused on keywords and traffic. And, that's the people who are struggling the most to adapt right now if you weren't already really centering it on your user.
So what about those that are actually scared that they're going to lose their job as an AI? I mean, like what kind of mindset do you feel like they have to like shift towards? I mean, I think not even the SEO industry, but I mean, let's talk about specifically for the SEO industry. But yeah, it's not just our industry, but worldwide run all industries, right?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, should I be more scared than I am right now? But I think one is to, I would say embrace AI, but I specifically like to say embrace AI as your teammate. It is ultimately something that can really help you. And I think like any teammate, it has its strengths, it has its weaknesses. There's those tasks where you're always going to ask it for help. There's those tasks where it's like, no, you suck at this. I'll do this on my own. So we don't have to bow down to it as it's going to take over, but don't fight it either. Place boundaries on what it can and can't do, but just learn how to work with it because it's not going away. And if you can learn to work alongside it, that increases the chance that you will be able to work alongside it, not just let AI take over.
Excellent!
All right, let's get into upskilling. So, I mean, for those that don't even understand the term upskilling, can you explain it? And what does that mean specifically for SEO professionals?
Yes, this is a fun question. So, I mean, upskilling would really just be adding on new skills or improving the ones you have so you can do your job better.
Okay.
I honestly should have changed the title of my Brighton talk. I gave a similar one at Digital Olympus in Amsterdam a few weeks ago as well. And how I started pitching it to people was that, less about upskilling, but just about what skills do you actually need to succeed in this new era.
Okay.
So it's like, yes, there's going to be new ones. Yes, there's going to be things that you have to shift, but again, it's maybe less about like training or adding on new things, but just adjusting your focus or doubling down on certain things.
Got it. That's perfect segue to, I mean, developing those skills. So what core skills are you referring to, like that people should prioritize to stay competitive?
Yeah. I think a big one would be communication. I think this has always kind of been a challenge in the SEO industry, but the SEO is the easy part. It's communicating what's happening. That's the challenge. It's getting the buy-in. That's the challenge. And that has only become, 1,000 times more difficult with, traffic being lost, attributions getting so much messier, everybody's CEO reading one headline on LinkedIn and wanting to change the entire SEO strategy as a result. Honestly, even my own communication skills, I think, have really been tested this year navigating all of this. I have never spoken to so many CEOs and leadership teams because they all want to hear from us directly on it. So again, it's, I think most of us have come to the conclusion now, it's still kind of debated, SEO is not dead. I will firmly stand behind that. But it's just, again, it's navigating all these challenges that's key. And if you can be someone who can communicate, who can explain things well, especially if you communicate like impact of things, that really is number one. And again, I think the other things, fact checking is huge. We know AI likes to hallucinate. We can't just leave that to someone editing your work. We all have to own responsibility for that now. Understand how they work so you can use them effectively. Also, so you don't accidentally do things like, train AI models on proprietary data. And again, just building that muscle to know when AI is good to use and when it's not. I kind of like to draw on a carpenter for comparison. Carpenters have all these power tools at their disposals, but they still use a hammer and nails all the time. It's just about what's the right tool for the job.
Love that. You talk about communication. I remember you giving a presentation on communicating with data, right? Or like with analytics. So for those that, for a quick tip for those that want to be able to share like analytics, to C-level and be able to communicate it really well. I mean, what would your tip be to an SEO if they were trying to communicate with data?
I'm going to say two tips here. One, I would say Google a concept called Rule 15. This is something, is it Rule 17? Oh my gosh, I should know this. But it's basically like a style kind of guideline. Oh, I might have to drop this in the chat later. It's embarrassing. My Friday brain is kicking in. But it's basically just like, don't use unnecessary words. Be concise, get to the point. Don't use flowery language. Don't use overly complicated language. Just communicate in a natural way. And that's going to really enhance your message and not muddy it. And that's something I see all the time, even my own team, is that I know what they're saying and the message is good, but it's lost in the delivery.
Got it.
Yeah. I think my other tip would be just always get at the why. I think a lot of us working with data, we have a tendency to get into the weeds, to dump a lot of numbers at people. And especially if you're working with executives, they're just like, okay, like, why does this matter? What does this mean? What do we have to do about this? So again, get to the point, get the why. I'm sure this is one of those things my team rolls their eyes at all the time when I'm giving feedback on work, because it's just like, oh, she asked me to explain the why again. So sorry, guys, it's important.
Love that. Okay, so when it comes to building the right skill stack and building your skills, I mean, what do you feel like is the balance of what, from like traditional SEO tactics to fundamentals to the AI driven ones where, we can use AI to help? I mean, like, how do you balance this? Or like, how are you maybe instructing your team to build their skill set?
I think in terms of skill set, definitely just finding good ways to integrate AI into our workflows more.
Okay.
I think there's certain workflows where we have really seen big changes, like how we put together things like content briefs. Those we use a lot of AI now, for example. But in a lot of instances, it's more just using it to support, to be able to do it better or faster. I almost hesitate to say faster sometimes because I think there's almost too much emphasis put on speed with AI, but it is a benefit, so we can't ignore that.
Yeah.
And again, it's always just finding that balance is just always about bringing it back to the user. If you keep it grounded there, then you're going to be able to figure it out.
Love that. So how about since we're talking about AI software and tools, I mean, is there any tools that you are using out there? Which ones do you think maybe some SEOs should be focusing on, or maybe it doesn't have to be brand specific, but you mentioned like content briefs, right? You can use tools for that. I mean, and any other tools that you're talking about, and you can be brand specific if you want.
Yeah. Tools wise, I would say I love the GPT for Sheets. I think they call it like GPT for Work now plugin.
Okay.
That's a great one. It's super easy to just integrate it right into Google Sheets. There's so much you can do once you've integrated there. You do need a OpenAI API key, but otherwise it's like pretty cost effective, which is nice too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll do things and I'll check the price. I'm like, wow, that cost me like $2. Can't complain about that. What else are we using these days? Something I'm really starting to explore more is the prompt feature in Screaming Frog.
That's a good one.
I hadn't realized that with a new update that you can like run prompts as you do a crawl. I thought it was still where you had to like add this JavaScript or Python code or something. I'm like, I'll try that one day. I just don't have time now. Mm-hmm. So again, another way just to do what we're already doing, but just kind of amplify it and make it better and faster. Mm-hmm. And we're also finally at the point where we have started to kind of invest in an LLM tracker. It was something we honestly held off on for a long time, just because the price is wild, especially being in Canada. When it's all priced in USD, you add like 50% to the cost, which can be pretty rough for us. Mm-hmm. But I hate to say this, but I think for a long time, the marketing was a lot better than the product for a lot of them. So we kind of finally reached the point. I'm sorry, I know Profound is a sponsor here.
no, go ahead. No, which I mean, is it another company that uses Profound, or I mean, are you using another company that competes with Profound?
We've just invested in one called Mentions. It's kind of a smaller tool.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of smaller one out there, but yeah, I think the tools have improved a lot. Mm-hmm. And again, we just had to find one too where we didn't want it to take over all of our writing and stuff, but just really focus more on like the analytics and insight side too.
Got it.
I think in terms of optimizations, writing, all of that, we're still exploring how AI can do that for us. So we prefer to keep that to other tools or just using the LLMs directly then.
Love that. So when you say GPT for Sheets, is it the one by Google? Like, is it? I just Googled GPT for Sheets, and there's like one that's in the Google Workspace Marketplace. Is that the one that you're using, or there's a SheetGPT.ai?
I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I still call it GPT for Sheets, but they rebranded, I think, to GPT for Work.
Okay, let's see here. GPT for Work. So it's okay, I see it here. GPT for Work. GPTforwork.com, right? That one?
Yeah.
All right. Let me just put it in the live chat so everyone can grab that and take a look at it themselves. All right. So now back to, let's talk about some practical ways to upskill. I mean, like for SEOs that are working full-time jobs, right? I mean, it's not that, it may be hard. I mean, so how can you what can someone do that has a full-time job that can, without being overwhelmed to help them upskill their skills?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I will say it is hard. I feel that pressure, and I hate sometimes being the one, maybe even sometimes putting on my team, pressure on my team. Like there's always that balance, especially in the agency world. It's like you got to innovate, but you also got to do the billable work. Mm-hmm. So I think a big thing to keep in mind is that this is something that my managing director told me once, shout out to her, when I was kind of struggling with this idea, is that innovation doesn't have to be big or transformational. It can be small.
Okay.
So they just focus on how can I take one step of this process and use AI for it? Or how can I take, a small task and automate it, for example? So don't think that you have to overhaul what you're doing, but just say, how can I do it for this one thing? Give it a try. Mm-hmm. And that also kind of, reduces, I guess it doesn't reduce the risk of failure, but the impact if that fails isn't as big as if you were doing it for something bigger. And again, if you spend a little bit of time tinkering around with one step and maybe it takes longer, doesn't go well, again, it's only impacted maybe one step of a bigger process. So more manageable to play around. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Got it. Okay. So that's on an individual level. What about like SEO teams? Like when you talk to other SEO leaders out there that wants to, possibly hey, I want to upskill their team. Like how do you bring this to the team, or like how would a team? I mean, do you just send them, hey, check out these courses? Is that something you do, and just have them schedule like an hour off every day to learn it? I mean, what's your process for getting your team like AI integrated?
Love that. I mean, it's something that's very much still a work in progress for us too.
Okay.
So one thing that we do is we try to build it into existing meetings. So for example, we have every other week we have an organic team meeting where we go over stuff, and we do this. We call them espresso chats. Our kind of agency-wide like lunch and learn concept is coffee chat. So our team-specific one is espresso chat, like a mini coffee chat.
Got it.
So that's just a chance for someone on the team for about 10 to 15 minutes to, share something they've improved, share something they learned, just walk someone through, the rest of the team with it without taking up a huge amount of time. We also have Slack channels with shares, which is a great thing. We'll also integrate that into like one-on-one sometimes too. Like let's, work through something together, figure out a problem. Something we're also really focused on our team right now is just like sharing processes and precedents for AI focused work. And that's one of my jobs as the director, is to say, hey, this is really good. I'm going to put it in the list of precedents so other people can come and find this. So we're not all like struggling to solve the same problems, 5 different times when someone actually figured this out a month ago and we could have just copied what they did.
Got it. I'm actually curious. Like when it comes to like prompts, I mean, do you have like a bank of prompts that you guys share? So it's possibly like the outcome is all similar. I mean, how I mean, are you just letting them freely use? Like, do you have any like guidance on prompting when it comes to AIs using teams?
Say for some specific processes, we do have guidance.
Okay.
But a more robust prompt library is something we should probably still work on.
Got it. Love that. Okay, so what about when it comes to, people are starting to incorporate AI into their marketing strategy or the organic strategy. I mean, what are kind of some mistakes when people actually use AI? I know you mentioned like, hey, you have to really double check what's being written, right? Fact check it. I mean, like, is there any other things where you see like any kind of like other problem where integrating AI into their strategies for clients and their company?
I mean, I think the biggest thing, sorry, I think my internet's being a bit, there we go. I would say the biggest thing would just be, don't assume that using AI means it's going to be faster. I think that's a very common, and I think that's where the people kind of in charge of implementing AI sometimes run into roadblocks as well. It's like, say leadership is like, oh, we're going to start using AI for this and it's going to cut the time by 50%. And we're like, actually, no, it doesn't, because it's a different process now. Maybe it's a different skill set to put it together. But often, especially with things around content, it takes just as long, sometimes even longer.
Got it. Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, again, it's good that someone who didn't have a certain skill set before is now empowered to do different things. It's not all about speed, but yeah, I think that's just a very common misconception that AI equals speed and efficiency.
Got it.
I think the other big one we see, I'll just throw one more here, is that like a junior person can do it, or someone who doesn't know SEO can just, get an SEO tool or get an AI tool, and that's going to solve our strategy for you. Like, why would we pay an agency to do it? And it's like, again, I keep drawing on my power tool analogy, but I like it. It's like power tools are great, but if you don't know how to do them, you might lose a finger.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. All right. So when it comes to like actual, like some real world examples, like, you mentioned like, you shouldn't depend on time, but I mean, for you, when you integrated AI in your strategies and within your teams, what have you seen like in productivity wise? Has it, obviously made it a lot faster? Were you able to, do things, be more productive? I mean, like any kind of like real time examples that you've experienced or immediately after incorporating AI?
Yeah, I think the improvements we've seen so far have more been focused on quality over like speed and efficiency.
Okay.
And I think there's still a lot of untapped potential there. Like obviously things like using it to write metadata, sped that up significantly. Redirect mapping is probably one of my favorite examples of where I literally cut hours out of work. Like, redirect map that might have taken like 6-8 hours in the past can now do in an hour or two, which is incredible. But I would look at like our content briefing process as one where it hasn't necessarily led to big speed improvements, but definitely quality, helps us do it in a more standardized way. Just helps us, especially if we're not subject matter experts ourselves. I think it helps us just bring in different perspectives that we may not have thought of. And again, allows us to give a lot more detail to our writers without, spending 2 hours on a brief.
Love that. Love that. I feel like also when it comes to SEOs and we want to also, communicate with data, I found it so much easier or like helpful using AI to help me analyze my data, right? Analyze my organic data. Is that something that you guys are doing too? Like, hey, here is our metrics, and you give them all this information. Say, hey, what are some insights that you can draw from this data? Is that something you guys are doing too?
It's honestly not something we've done a ton of. I think we just haven't found the right way for it to make it work for us yet. But I do know that some people on the team will use it to help them communicate the insights. Because that's sometimes where the struggle is. They're like, I know I want to say, I don't know how to communicate this in a good way. So it's like,
love that.
We're still kind of doing the analysis, helping with sharing that, but the analysis side is something I still do want to dig into more.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, because I mentioned that you were talking about how, when you communicate, be like, don't use specific terms, be real general, act like they don't know anything, right? Just like you're explaining it to like maybe I won't say fifth grader, but I mean maybe someone in high school, but I mean, yeah. So I would actually tell the prompt like, hey, yeah, I need to like talk to marketing leadership, and please, they don't know this, like they're not technical. I always kind of like put that into the prompt. So I feel like, yeah, that's something that like it does help at least communicate, certain things that you want to say that, it's hard to kind of just find the right words for it. But okay. So let's go into more of the about how, where do you see everything going? I mean, like the future of AI. Do you feel like a lot more people will be using it, or do you feel people will be losing their jobs if they don't learn it? I mean, because that's one thing where I always say, like, you won't lose your job to AI. You will lose your job to people that knows AI, right? So it's like, this is something that you should really pay attention to. So what do you see when it comes to AI and SEO?
Yeah, I mean, I would say overall, I think just like how, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, it became an expectation that you could type to work in an office place. Like, I do think it's eventually going to become a skill like that. I really, and certainly in the majority of workplaces, I don't see that being an issue in the short term. I think sometimes we forget that we live in a bit of a marketing and tech bubble where we think everyone's using it, but really everyone is not. So I do think it's going to get there, but it's not going to happen this year, not even next year, but maybe more in the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to become a really key skill. I think in the short term, especially for SEOs, just being able to understand what's happening with AIOs and AI mode and LLMs, being able to explain that, being able to navigate the impacts on the user journey. I think especially being able to understand kind of like the attribution side of it and understand the impacts on data. I think if you don't understand that, that's going to be more of a risk to your job than how well you can use ChatGPT.
Love that. And I'm coming to my last few questions here. So those in the live chat, if you have any questions, please ask them in the live chat and I will address them in the order that they are received. So for those that want to future-proof their SEO career, I mean, what would be one big takeaway you would tell them for and skill set they should work on, from what we've just talked about?
Again, I know it's cliche, but and I'm repeating it, but communication, you can never go wrong with that. Being able to communicate what's going on, navigate all the challenges. Again, I do think, again, this was something I said in my talk where it's like, I hate to talk about prompt engineering because everybody's talking about it, but again, it is a key skill.
Oh, what is it?
Like you have to learn how to...
Oh, prompt engineer. Yeah, prompt. Yes, exactly.
Again, just giving good prompts. And again, it's not all necessarily about the techie side of it, but it's just like giving good direction to an LLM, giving it feedback is really key. A lot of people think it's all just about the one prompt, but it's actually being able to go back and forth to tease out that final output.
Yep.
Again, like I talked about in San Diego too, I think keep working on how to integrate it with other tools. Like I said, Screaming Frog is something I'm working on right now. The data side of things is something I really want to work on too. So go beyond the platforms themselves, and that's where you really unlock the next level. And if you can do that kind of stuff, It's going to, protect and supercharge your career. But again, always make sure you can bring it back to actually explaining what you do, and connecting it to the user and the why behind everything.
Love that. I didn't see any questions come in here. So this is the last question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. If someone wants to get into the SEO industry right now, become a SEO professional themselves right now, what would your one key advice be to them?
I would say join a community.
Okay.
There is so many wonderful communities out there that share so much incredible knowledge. Two I would give a shout out to is Woman in Tech SEO. I'm actually repping my sweater today. You just can't see it in the frame. I know the newer SEO community by Noah Lerner is also a great one. Again, just so much incredible knowledge shared there. But it's also just a place where it's like you can, talk about challenges with people and they're there to support you. We're doing like a meetup in Toronto next week. So it's kind of like people become your friends too. And it's a tough industry sometimes, especially with all the changes. So join a community to get the knowledge, but also the support, which is going to get you through.
Love that. And for this episode to feel complete for you, Natasha, any last comments, words, and how can people get a hold of you?
So if you want to get a hold of me, LinkedIn is best. I am on Blue Sky, although I usually just talk about like Canada soccer and random things there, not a ton of SEO chatter there. And again, I think I kind of already answered this, but I would just say my best piece of advice right now would be don't isolate yourself. Join those communities, talk about the challenges you're facing. We're all going through them. I think that was one of the greatest things I took home from San Diego, was just kind of like reassurance that everyone is facing these challenges. Other people feel like we're behind when actually we're maybe not. So don't let the people on LinkedIn, get you down. And just be curious and experiment too.
Love that. And you said you have a meetup. Is the meetup open to the public? Are you able to share the address or where that's going, or?
Not a one-on. I mean, if you're super keen, maybe send me a message. But we're kind of keeping it a little bit more closed on Wednesday. But I'm sure there'll be some other stuff around SEO IRL as well.
All right, love it. Everyone's give a round of applause. All right, Natasha, can you hold on for one quick second? All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to visit our sponsors at tryprofound.com for all your AEO platform needs. And also AEO.so to learn AEO for free. Till next time, I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul-Andre de Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!